All right, this is the status indicators. Now that you are a moderator, you're probably noticing a bunch of activity going on over there, specifically some tools that show up with little dots. If you look next to Gordon's name, you see a little microphone with amber dots. That means that Gordon is slightly delayed, and as soon as that little microphone disappears from his name, that means that I'm going to start sounding to him like Minnie Mouse, because right now during his delay, it is a little bit delayed in receiving the audio. As soon as he stabilizes, then he'll start hearing everything like Minnie Mouse until he gets caught up with the rest of us. Okay? Now, every time I move this little pointer, you're going to see a little pencil next to your name. That just means that you're delayed in seeing my pointer. Not a big deal. Some things you don't want to pay attention to. But like that little microphone that showed up next to Gordon's name, you may want to pay attention to the microphone, because that is an indicator that Gordon is a little bit delayed. Some other things that you might want to pay attention to, if you started an application share, like earlier I was application sharing my desktop to show you things. If you see indicators like this, I was basically pausing, just buying some time for a couple of seconds until those indicators disappeared. Once they disappeared, then I know everybody can now see what I was sharing. So you do want to pay attention to most of the status indicators. The ones that I clearly do not pay attention to are the pencils with the amber dots. That's just saying that as I move this pointer around, you guys aren't seeing it at the exact second. Okay, so that is the status indicators. That lets you know when there is a delay. It's going to either be red or orange. Orange is not as severe. Red is a severe delay. If it's red for a long time, you may get booted out of the session. But if you recover pretty quickly, it will automatically remove you back to the session. Orange, you are not as delayed, so usually they will clear after a few seconds. Okay. You also have activity indicators. So let's look at this, this sample here. Notice that Dominique is a participant, and he has been given a non-default tool. He has been given application share, and so has Emma. He is not using it. Emma is, and that is because any tool that shows up in blue means that the tool is in use. So it's always a good idea, like right now Paige is typing me a message and Raheem has his microphone on. So it's always a good idea to pay attention to the participants panel to see what is going on in the session. So I'm going to be anticipating Paige's question. There she is. I'm afraid to leave. Thank you. So glad there will be a recording. Paige, don't be, she said, I'm afraid I have to leave. Okay, yes, we are recording today, so you have a great day. So you see I was anticipating a message from Paige, because I could see that little speech bubble next to her name. So it is a good idea to monitor the participants panel, not only for any delays, but also activity indicators. Now, if there are delays, I usually just pause for a second. That's a great time to ask for a polling response. And sometimes I turn off my microphone, which will, while you are using the polling responses, I'll turn off my microphone to give everybody a chance to catch up. Okay. Any questions about the status indicators or the activity indicators? Give me a green check mark if you're good with that information, or a red X if you have a question. All right, I see no red X's, so we're going to move on and learn about polling. So polling, you've already done a great job using those polling tools, but I want you to see that they can actually be changed to an ABCD option. So now that you know how to be a moderator, let me go back. I want you all to go ahead and demote yourself. So click on your own name. Go ahead and right click or go to your options menu and take away moderator privileges. Don't worry, I'll give you back your power in just a little while, but I do want you to see what this looks like from a student's point of view. All right, so now you're all back to being a participant. So if I put up a question, if I added a question like this in my teaching deck, I would require you to go ahead and use your polling tools to answer the question. Now, it's important for you to add questions throughout your teaching slides for several reasons. Remember, I told you it is important for you to actively engage your students, or else you're going to lose them to Facebook or to online shopping. So you want to keep them busy at all times. So add questions throughout your teaching slides as you are creating your PowerPoint. Every page or so, add a question that will require students to use the polling tools. This will give you a lot of really good data. First of all, it's going to tell you who's on the couch playing a video game. It will also tell you who understands and who doesn't. It will also tell you if your entire class is getting the answer wrong, then you've done a poor job with teaching it. So maybe you need to present the information a little bit differently. So the polling is very important. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, my students are going to find the smart kid and they're going to just answer what the smart kid said. So what I want you guys to do is pick something. Everybody pick either A, B, C, D, or E. Doesn't matter what you pick, I just want you to pick something. And notice that you can see those responses right next to your name. But check it out. I can actually go to the options menu and I can deselect the default setting that says make responses visible. So I can take that away. Oh, everybody has not picked one, so I need everybody to go to your tools. Notice that the check mark has now changed to an A. So everybody mouse over it and pick something, either A, B, C, D, or E. It doesn't matter what you pick. All right, I need an answer from everybody who's still here. All right, so watch this. I can actually deselect that, which will hide the responses from you. However, I can still see. I'm a moderator and I can still see that Angela has A, Clarissa has E, Debbie has A. So it's important for you to manage the responses. If you truly want an accurate response from your students, then go ahead and make the responses invisible by deselecting that default setting. That way you can tell who is understanding, who is not. It keeps students from being embarrassed if they got the answer incorrect. But then check it out. You can also publish the responses as a summary. It won't give individual responses, but it will actually report who picked what in the session. Okay? Now, how did I do that? Under the options menu, I went down to polling. This is how I very easily changed it. I can change it from green check mark or red X, which is yes or no. I can even lock the responses. Watch what happens when I lock the responses. Check. Everybody keep your eye on the A over there, or whatever you've picked. It will show what you've picked. And I can actually lock the responses and check it out. That button has completely disappeared. Okay, so now you cannot change your response. This is how I publish the responses to the whiteboard. So I'm going to give you back your moderator privileges so that you guys can go ahead and interact with those tools. So feel free to go to the polling area. Again, that's going to be under the participants panel, under the options menu. Go to the polling area and feel free to play with those tools. Now granted, there are 15 of you playing with the tools, so it might get a little bit hard, but just note that you can change that, at least see where you can make changes. Okay.